This video illustrates fixed price and on-account invoicing in the project module. Fixed price and on-account invoicing is a manner in which the user can invoice a project or parts thereof before it's complete. One can then close the project using a couple of methods which I'll show you in this video. I have a project here called fixed price or on account. And in this first example, say we've agreed with the customer that we'll invoice the project in 2 installments, say of 50,000. So I select the project here and I select Invoice, Sales Order. And the selection here is important for the category. I'll show you in a second. I say Create Order. And this is where you can note that the order has automatically selected the category 85 on account invoicing. This enables us to post the revenues correctly in the company accounts. We can also determine here that when we've completed the first invoice and we don't want the order nor its order lines to be deleted, we can remove these 2 ticks. If, for example, we wanted to repeat this order every month, say like a subscription, we could choose per month here on this order. And we will thereby be shown when the order should be invoiced again. I won't do that in this example. We're just going to go to the order lines here. So we're going to select our on-account inventory item here, which I have set up. There is a description on Unipedia of how you would set up this on-account inventory item and its inventory group for the required accounting results. Let's say in this example that we've agreed with a customer that we'll invoice those 2 installments of 50,000. So we enter 50,000 as a price. We have a quantity of 1 here. We can now preview this invoice and generate. Good. If we go back to the project, which we've now posted upon, we're going to refresh. We click on Edit, then we can see the status of our project. So here we can see that the project's showing an on-account amount of 50,000 and an invoiced amount of 50,000. This not invoiced line relates of course to the amount that has not been sent as a final invoice, so to speak. And of course there are no expenses on this project yet. So now we go to the project journal. And here we're going to start registering some hours worked on this project. Those are some old lines we can delete. Let's add a journal line here. I'm going to select the project, fixed price. Let's select our inventory service item. We needed to bring that field into our layout there, so we can select our inventory item. Hours. Good. So this item has been set up with a sales price of 1,000. We can add a cost price here if we wish. Let's say it cost us 500. Let's say that we worked 25 hours on this. And we'll add another journal line. We have the same project. Hours. Let's say we have a different category here, an accounting category. Again, we have a sales price set up on the item of 1,000. Let's give it a cost price of 500 again. And let's say we worked 35 hours. So this is the work we did in the first period of our project. So here we, in a sense, have overwritten the amount that we thought we would use and written in the actual hours. If we later on, after the 15th of July, added an additional journal lines, say we worked on the 20th, we select hours once again, let's say we worked 37 hours, again at a cost price of 500. I'm going to post this journal. So that's now been posted. I'm going to go back to the project. I'll refresh and then I'll view the project by clicking Edit here. So here we can see that the project now has a labour cost and a sales price. We still have our on-account amount of 50,000. We can see now what we have invoiced and what expenses have been incurred on the project. But we did agree with the customer that we would invoice them twice. So we're going to go to our order lines again. Good. We've chosen not to delete the order lines, so that's why they're still here. We can create another invoice for 50,000 again. We're going to select the date that we last worked. We don't need to simulate it or preview it. It's now been posted. I go back to the project. I'm going to refresh to get those postings in. I'm going to edit to take a look at the status of the project. Here we can see that we've now invoiced 100,000. We can see the labour sales amount is 97,000. So we still need to handle this uninvoiced amount of 3,000. In other words, we've sent an on-account invoice of 3,000 more than we have billed to the project. However, we have completed the project and we have the invoice amount agreed of 100,000. And if we look at the project transactions, it's important also to note, as always in projects, that the sales value of the project has not yet reached 0. It needs to be 0 once the project is complete to round it off. So we need to handle this 3,000 here. How do we do that? We look at the project and we use the Create Order button. We could also use the Create Zero Invoice function here. I'll show you the Create Order function here. We enter that invoice date, those last hours that we worked on the 20th, and we go to lines. So if I add a total here at the bottom, that we can see that we currently have a total amount of minus 3,000. So now if I send this invoice, I will be sending a credit note of 3,000. I could do that if we'd say agreed with the customer that the project wouldn't necessarily cost exactly 100,000. What I could also do is edit the quantity of hours worked here from 35 to say 38. And that would use another 3,000 in the sales amount. All this has actually the same results as had I created a zero invoice. If we now click on the adjustment button here, we get to see that Uniconta is ready to post an adjustment of 3,000 on this order. So from those order lines I can go ahead and create the order. No need to preview. So we've now created a zero invoice, in effect, the same thing. All is in order, we've completed the project, and it is with a sales value of 0. Close some screens here. Let's look at that project and see the status. We get the fixed price, we say edit to review the status of the project. And here we see I have that revenue of 100,000. I have an adjustment of 3,000 here at the bottom. So this project was a good deal for us. If I look at the transactions on the project, I can also see the adjustment here on the bottom line. And this has meant again that the project has a sales value of 0 since it's been completed and closed. And that was a review of on-account invoicing and fixed price invoicing in the project module.